Welcome to the Trish and Sarah and Tunnel Talk Wrestling Podcast Holiday Extravaganza Special. I'm Sarah.
I'm Trish.
I'm Allie.
I'm Ann.
And I'm Leah.
And this is our podcast crossover holiday extravaganza episode. We will not really talk about wrestling news or any various topics, but instead we'll cover the year 2024 at AEW and maybe elsewhere with some facts and lots of feelings, whatever we find hilarious, and we hope you will too. Both the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast and Tunnel Talk are proud members of the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Please do not hold anything we say again tonight against any of these very kind and lovely people. So, it is Sunday, December 15th, 2024, and obviously we're not going to release this until, I think, Christmas Eve, but figured I'd give you guys the date anyway. Obviously, we're going to kick off this holiday podcast extravaganza special with the discussion of last night's WWE PLE. No, it was on TV. Saturday night's main event. No, we're not going to be doing that.
The Tunnel Talk girls know all about it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I definitely did not think that you meant the Collision main event, which I also did not watch.
I know, that's what I was stressed about. I was like, oh God, we really could discuss, I guess we really could discuss the WWE PLE who fought.
Well, that was going to be my question for you. Do you even know who was
Fuck
in
me.
No.
It wasn't even
Okay. I need to be allowed to be given a point because I know who was in the main
God
event.
damn it, Leah.
I think that's
go.
embarrassing for you,
It was
Leah.
Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. And afterwards, Kevin Owens got in a fight with Triple H, and everyone's pretending it was shoot, but it wasn't.
Wow.
Oh, is that why
Leah.
everyone's talking about Kevin Owens today? I was just like, it's not my business.
Hey, point on the board.
Yeah,
She is so obsessed with getting points on the board,
I
and she
know.
always does it.
This is a competition. and
She
I'm
always does
winning.
it. Well, it's because the rest of us, if we say something right, we don't say I get a point on the board, so then our board is
Okay.
empty.
Does that make you smart? No, it makes you pointless.
Makes you pointless. Well,
Wow.
you heard it here first, folks. 2/3 of Tunnel Talk, pointless.
Well, we are off to a strong start today. And we begin, listen, we have some cocktails. We have some games we're going to play. We're going to have a quiz where the Tunnel Talk, Trish and I are going to ask the Tunnel Talk gals fact-based trivia questions.
Leah racks up more points on the board.
God damn it.
The problem is that, like, sometimes I'll know stuff, but it's never anything that you're going to be able to predict. So Sarah's going to, like, look at us and be like, who main evented on the show that you just watched on Wednesday? And I'm going to be like, ooh, fuck.
I'm not even that mean.
My favorite thing about when you know things is that every single time Anna and I look at you like, where did you learn that? Like, we'll just every time, and we just haven't internalized, I don't know, that you have places you go to learn things that we don't visit, I guess.
Sarah's sending her video messages all the time.
That's right. She's got the inside scoop.
Yeah.
I do send Leah a lot of video messages, but I will say that they're mostly not wrestling. Most of them are not wrestling-based.
I
don't
think
know.
you might be sneaking wrestling facts and you don't even realize it's happening.
From my
but
perspective, you're drilling them right into my head. Yeah.
Every morning we go over, like, the day's discourse, and she, like, gives me a guided review of things I need to know, and then there's a light quiz at the end, and, you know. And if I get an answer wrong, I get a shock. If I get an answer right, I get a treat.
Wow.
I wish I got treats. Hey, I'd love to get some treats.
All right, well, Trish and I clearly need to get on some kind of remedial education program for all three of you.
Yeah, I think it would be for the best.
Yeah, it won't be depressing for you at all. I don't think.
It is going to be interesting because most of the time when I listen to Tunnel Talk, and I don't know, Trish, if you feel the same way, there are times where they start asking a question or there's like something on the tip of their tongue that they're like, that wasn't the person who did that. And I'm out loud going, it was so-and-so. It was so-and-so. It was so-and-so. Google it. It was so-and-so. And eventually, sometimes there's a correct answer. Sometimes there's not a correct answer. But yeah, it's going to be fun to do that in real time.
It's because we don't give a shit. That's why.
Yeah.
So.
My favorite thing that happens in some of our wrestling spaces is that we'll have one of those moments. We'll be like, oh, who was it? Oh, I don't know. None of us know. And someone will come into one of the Discords we're in while they're listening and be like, this was the answer, guys. And I'm like, they'll find out that 40 minutes from now in the episode, we somehow stumble onto that answer. And then you get to watch them live time and be like, oh, you got there eventually. It took you quite a long time.
Oh, good times. So, I figured we would start with a categories for the end of the year recap, which, you know what, we're just gonna go with it. I think the first one that I wanted to suggest all of you and ask your opinions on was, who would you award the Bryan Danielson Award for least effort in the build of a feud to for the year of 2024?
Well,
my favorite thing about these categories is that you put the answer in the title of the award most of the time.
I was going to say
What do you want me to say?
I was going to say, in the great tradition of Vitamin Dave, surely we got to give the Bryan Danielson Award to Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. But I liked that you put the answer in the award because it caused me to dig deeper than I otherwise would have. I was like, well, I can't.
That is true.
Of course, Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson he had so much TV time to use to build a feud and chose to use none of it to build a feud. So that is kind of like the most useless you can be. Sorry, Bryan. But then I tried to dig a little deeper.
I found some runners-up as well.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I think Samoa Joe deserves a little award for how badly he did.
Right. That was this year.
It was this year, yeah.
Yep.
Another end main title picture, too, and did nothing.
Wow. Yeah.
He did not care that much.
No.
These old guys, huh?
Listen, sometimes you have
Checked
a
out.
valuable television career that you're sort of like, I'll go do that filming, whatever. That's an interesting one. Any other runner?
I felt bad saying this because I don't really fully blame them, but it sounds like Hangman and Jay White didn't really build their. They didn't kind of do a lot of their feud. So no
not wrong
offense
on that
to the
one.
men.
No,
but,
I'd
It's
also
a
give
different-
FTR a little award for never once building a feud, never once noticing who their opponent is. They have their promo and that they
I put
give
them in
regardless.
here. I said FTR every feud. Have they had a feud?
It kind of
honestly,
works
what was
like a
their last
template.
Yes.
Like any wrestler can fit into an FTR feud because it just follows the same. It's the same template, cut and paste.
They're like
What was the
Ron
last-
Swanson showing up to the next year's Halloween party wearing the same costume, and they're like, "Weren't you that last year?" And he's like, "Yes, this is my Halloween costume." FTR are like, "This is our promo."
Did you see
ahead.
that they reached a new high in anti-feud building last night, where they were going to come out and call out the Death Riders, and then didn't, and then got beat up as they were leaving the venue.
Nice.
They got kidnapped.
They got
Bags
kidnapped
over their heads.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
no.
promo, no nothing, no
How
no daughter,
tragic.
nothing.
What if we
That's
never
their
see them
last
again?
appearance.
Oh no.
I'd be so sad.
Don't make me wish for nice things.
Oh, we won't get them.
Yeah, of course we will.
Sad. I feel like you got to give MJF a little bit of this award in terms of this Adam Cole feud, because not only has he not really been doing much, he
Yeah.
hasn't physically been present.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Been in his lair.
He's been in his lair, yeah.
What do you guys? Isn't normal? I think I said on our podcast a few weeks ago that like MJF's promos in this feud have seemed so precognitive. Like he's always just anticipating something that couldn't possibly have been anticipated, in my opinion, and then it goes to a pre-tape with him. Do you think that it is crazier than other pre-tapes I've seen, or am I just so tired of
I feel
this?
like we're supposed to get the impression that he's like on a live Zoom has been my theory about it.
That's so sad, though. That
I
his
know.
characterization is that he's
Yeah.
always watching Dynamite on a live.
Also, he's the only one who watches Dynamite who's not there. Even the people who are there are not watching the show.
Yeah. He's just sitting at his piano, little camera on him, waiting for someone
Watching-
to address him.
Watching the Zoom from the least comfortable chair in his lair. A piano bench.
Wow. Okay, well, that'll stick with me now. That's what I'll be imagining.
Oh, goodness. Any other nominations for least effort in a feud in the year of our Lord 2024? I'm kind of at a loss there. I feel like we've tapped this category out. Nicely done, friends.
So everyone else gets half a point just for mostly kind of
Hey.
trying.
Points across the board. Yeah,
Points across
points
the
all
board.
around.
I didn't know
I'm not
this.
scoring this.
I was
I'm
going to say
not
this. I'm
scoring
not
this.
prepared for this to be a podcast. Like,
Oh,
contest.
no, not us, the wrestlers. All the
Yeah.
other wrestlers. So
No,
it was
I was giving us points.
yeah, I know, Leah, you love giving us points. But
Although, Leah, did you suggest one? I feel like maybe you didn't get any points
yeah,
in
Leah.
that
I
round.
did. I said it was Bryan Danielson.
Okay.
okay.
That's contributing. I
All
want
right,
this
so-
to be like whose line is it anyways, where like you get like 10 million points for one good answer.
That's true. Is Sarah going to assign us points based on her moods and whims?
Yes. Yes,
I'll do
pretty
the
much.
points. I'm
Yes.
going to do the points.
Oh,
I
okay.
think she's
All
gonna-
right.
Great.
Trish is going to do the
Trish
points.
assigned the points based on the least effort in a feud. Who got what points?
Oh no, I'm not doing it now.
Cumulative. Just wait till the end.
Wait till the end.
Yeah,
really not
you
points.
can't do things as they're going through. You've got to look back on them like a cumulative, haven't you?
It's true,
You know?
it's true.
That's what you do.
So true.
So
you
this
can't
is kind of a...
you can't judge the success of a feud in the middle. You got to wait till it, at
Yeah,
the
that
end.
is true.
Valid.
So true.
So this isn't really about, like, Trish isn't really going to be assigning points as such. Trish is just saying there will be a winner of this episode. And you'll
I haven't
find out at
decided.
some point who it
It's
is.
definitely not the audience. I'll say that.
People tuning into their normal Trish and Sarah episodes are going to get quite a surprise at how this goes.
I was saying that before we started. I was like, our podcasts are, obviously we're friends, we're women, we're on the Social Suplex Network. But in terms of a crossover audience, I feel like there's maybe 3 people that are going to really enjoy this episode, and a lot of people that are going to be very confused.
Sometimes people do recommend us in the same breath, which is like very sweet of them, and I love it. But I also feel like I'm always like, I think that's a little mean to Trish and Sarah.
I
Like
know,
we're
it's
very
like,
different
God, sorry,
genres
Trish and
of
Sarah.
podcasts. We are all women, but
Yeah.
It's
And
like
we do
when,
all have great opinions, but not in the same category.
it's like when Jon Stewart used to talk about how the Daily Show would air, and then directly after would be crank anchors. It's like that's what's going on here.
we're really dragging you guys down in this episode. Yeah, you lend us a legitimacy we don't deserve.
All right. So with that, let's move on to our next category, which is the MJF Award for most TV minutes given to something no one cares about.
So you're going to jump in and say MJF.
I can't now. You made that a problem.
I got those points. It's MJF.
I did quite cruelly. I gave this one to Bryan Danielson too. That's one of my suggestions.
Yeah. I think House of Black deserves a little
House of
honorable
Black.
mention.
You've
House
got to
of
be
Black.
right up there with
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
And maybe the trios division generally.
Yeah.
The trios, because mine was going to be Anne. It was
Maybe you should speak up a little faster there,
and
Lydia.
I was going to say the Acclaimed, which
that's a
fits
good
into
one.
the trios.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn, period, has got to be right
Yeah.
the heck up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, I have a broader category for this. I just said old men giving advice.
Ooh.
And
You're just
especially,
pandering with that one.
But Jeff Jarrett in the summer, we all agree. I mean, of
No,
course,
that's
we got
true.
of course,
was
we tried to
crazy.
get ourselves horny about it, but I don't think we did actually. But yeah,
We definitely.
But it's
like,
always a risk, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's a
we
risk.
could have.
We definitely danced around it.
I cannot put the sentence, we tried to get horny around Jeff Jarrett all together in my head.
We're always trying, Trish.
we're always trying.
we put in the effort.
Anytime I say, like, I'm trying to think back to the past and I'm like, we hated that, I do have to have an addendum of, like, unless we talked ourselves around and got really horny about it. It's so hard to
say.
know.
Yeah.
I don't think we did about Jeff Jarrett.
I don't think we
think
ever
so.
have with Jeff Jarrett. No. Hopefully.
No, we had that. There was that terrible. I mean, people liked it. I'm going to say things that I did not find interesting. I should clarify
great.
that. But the Jeff Jarrett, Bryan Danielson, what was the type of match they did? Oh God, it's losing me.
Were they?
Did you do like a Memphis street fight or something?
Something like that, right?
Yes.
Like where they were in the crowd and like they were at the concession stand or something like that.
You were there, and you were there. Finally, we hear from Trish and Sarah clapping, and you were there.
Just us being here is making them dumber, you guys.
Yeah. Suddenly they're locked out of their mind palace.
Suddenly
Never
they can't
happened to them.
remember what happened on July 11th of 2024.
This is because I'm not wearing a hat.
Your thinker got cold.
And you don't have the protection from our stupid rays.
Yeah. But I love the idea. It's like Trish and Sarah usually they keep their Mind Palace keys on a big ring like old-fashioned jailers, and we show up to the podcast and we just grab the rings and throw them in the moat. We're like, no one's getting into the Mind Palace tonight.
Oh my God.
For most TV minutes, I will say BCC first half of the year. Also, I think we're really limping along there. I mean, Mox wasn't around that
Sure.
much, but really half
I'll do
of
the
2023
controversial and
also.
say all of like this year. now he's like the fucking Riddler. And
I know, right?
Like, what are we doing? So yeah,
But he's looking so cute. You simply can't dismiss that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
bringing a sexual energy to people. So really, what else does anyone watch wrestling for?
Yeah.
This is a decent counters. Trish is.
I say to the Trish and Sarah audience.
Yeah.
And I know they're agreeing with me. I know they're saying yeah.
Unfortunately, when a beautiful man can say anything to me, like if
That's
he's
right.
looking cute, yeah, he can say
Yeah.
anything he wants.
You did find Osprey's haircut attractive.
Not me.
Okay.
Not
The
me.
thing, I am 37
But Allie
years
found
old.
Kip Sabian's body to be the most beautiful body that anyone's ever
I
looked
do
at,
every week.
So.
I always do.
So it's a tie.
Strong.
No, I think I'm more justified, actually. I think I'm right.
All right. Any other nominees for the MJF award for most TV minutes given for something no one cares about? I feel like these are strong nominees.
Yeah, I think we got a good set there.
Yeah. Was the House of Black FTR feud this year? Was that this year? Or was that
the
last
start
year?
of this year. Some
Yeah.
of it was last year. Most of it.
Did they ever finish that?
They
The
had
beautiful
that-
cage match. Was
Yeah,
that not the end?
escape cage match.
Oh my god, the
cage
cage match!
Honestly, one of the funniest things FTR's ever
I
done.
think
so
that
they
might
get credit
be the
there.
match that I've watched the most consecutive minutes of because I just couldn't believe that it was happening.
Oh my god, when
the way
Dax
it was
was
happening.
wriggling down the outside of that cage.
With his diaper flapping in the air.
And they were opening the door sometimes, though,
When they wanted to.
when they felt like it.
It's true that we were sitting up in our seats for that match and typing fury. We had so many questions for each other. It is perhaps the most engaged we've been ever.
It's amazing how much fun you can have with wrestling when it's bad as well as when it's good, right?
Yes,
so
it's
true.
so true.
Sometimes you just can look at something absolutely ridiculous and be like, "This isn't good, but it's fantastic." Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
I am enjoying the hell out of this.
I mean,
Absolutely.
sometimes that's better than when it's good.
I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
When AEW has a classic AEW disaster, I mean, that's
Yes.
that's the
Nothing
best.
beats it. Nothing
Yeah.
beats it.
I think that's pretty strong. All right. All right. So moving on, we have the Shelton Benjamin Award for Best New Man. Not Best New Person, Best New Man of 2024. Obviously, Shelton Benjamin, strong contender.
He really
Contender.
is.
I've been enjoying MXM this year. I mean, it's two new men,
Oh, that's
but
right.
they've
they
been a
were
lot of
this
fun.
year.
Yeah.
They've been fun. So I went and I was trying to find who had debuted this year. It was much harder than I thought that it would be.
Why are these sites publishing articles that are like everyone who debuted in 2024 and then it was published in January of 2024 and there's 2 people on it? Like, okay,
crazy.
that's not helpful for those of us with non-functioning memories.
I guess Osprey debuted this year.
No, it was
But he
November.
signed in 2023. Yeah.
He signed. Oh no, that's right. But
He
he didn't
came
show up
in
till the Road to
February.
Revolution. That's
Yeah.
right.
But it was just that he signed. No one ever answered this to my satisfaction. Why he had a special "I'm coming to AEW" segment months and months before he ever came to AEW. It's never happened since.
That's an interesting.
If I recall, I think it was they wanted to kind of shove it at WWE. So that's pretty much what it was, because it was at Full Gear. They wanted
Yes.
that, and they wanted like the positive headlines, I think, as well. So
Oh.
yeah, it was all PR play. Yeah.
And WWE hit Survivor Series the following weekend.
Yes.
Oh, so it's just marketing. Wow. Now, again, while looking for new men, I knew that he wouldn't have debuted this year, but I was astonished to realize that we've had possession of Big Bill since 2022.
Wow.
I would have
That
said
doesn't
last
seem
year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, but that makes sense because I fell in love with him when he got his knee stuck in the
Yeah.
Hardy family compound.
Yeah, he
God,
was
that was-
around.
yeah.
with
Yeah.
us
That
was a
not
long
liking
time
him
ago.
for a while.
Aw,
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I guess that could be a side category of this, which is the Matt Hardy. Who do you not miss in AEW that's left?
Oh,
Danhausen.
That's Trish's
Officially, yeah.
answer.
Not officially, yeah. I can't use him yet. Won't belong.
We gotta slough some of these names that when you go through the roster and you're like, I ain't seen that man in 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we still have a Miro in our
That's
in our
crazy.
toy box,
I know.
and he's
He's
just
very
been getting
tall.
paid this whole time.
Listen, God's
It's a real
respect.
racket.
It's
He
a
just
good
moved
scam.
to Bulgaria. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's like you got to give it to him, but
I mean, Okada's on the list this
Okada's
year,
definitely
right?
gonna be on
yeah.
the list. He's not
Yeah.
on Trish's list.
If Ricochet goes really crazy, he could get. I mean, I feel quite fondly towards him, but not really because of anything he's done.
Only because he's the protege of our beloved Dustin
he's
Chuck
he's
Taylor.
one of my son's friends, so
Yeah.
I like having him around.
Did we get Commander this year? Commander's got to be up there.
No,
Yeah.
he was definitely last year.
Oh, but
geez.
Beast Mortos was this year,
Beast
right?
Mortos.
Beast Mortos
Yeah.
was.
I do
yeah.
love Beast Mortos.
He was my answer, but I actually just now looked it up, and he debuted Christmas last year, so technically.
Oh, boy.
But he was
Jeez,
my,
Leah
he was
now
my
the
answer.
stickler.
But we've had him less than a year.
We've
as
had
of
him less
recording,
than a year.
As we
Oh,
can.
okay.
If we can use that as a barometer.
Let's. Why not?
It's our show. Well, it's Trish and Sarah show, but
It's
if they
a
permit
crossover
us.
extravaganza. All right, so these are good categories. All right, the Brian Cage Award for Best Man Who Has Been Around for a While, but hey, we randomly like him now.
The Stockholm Delara Award.
I mean, Big Bill was on my list because he is one that we didn't like for a while, and now he's very beloved.
Nobody's going to like my answer, but
I
it's
think we
Brody
have the
King.
same. Oh, God.
Interesting.
Yeah. You're still going to bat for him after these promos that have made me sick
Wow.
to death?
Am I happy about it? Is this something I'm excited to share with my friends?
I don't know.
No,
You
but
tell
I'm,
me.
I'm legally obligated to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I used to hate him, and now I do kind of like him, so that's pretty, it's happening.
A tepid response.
I'm forced to say also something no one wants to hear. I guess it's Sammy Guevara. I guess it's Sammy
He was on
Guevara
my
'cause
list too, yeah.
Every time I see him now, I'm like, oh, Sammy.
Rich Latta is going to be so happy to hear that.
If you want
Finally
to go
got
really far back in time, we didn't used to like Chris Jericho, I don't think, but
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Is that
It's hard
true?
to. It is true, but it's hard to
it's
think
hard
back
to
that far.
Yeah, throw it back.
How
It's
much
buried
has
pretty
Rich
deep
Latta
in the mind
paid you
palace.
lot?
We're very susceptible to influences, although I think this happened before we knew Rich very well. So
There's a crisp $5 bill in their social suplex paychecks every week for them to say positive things about the nuevo
Jericho?
Chris Jericho.
Sammy Guevara.
I think that Rich can definitely take some credit for the things he says on ONR worming their way into our minds, so that I mean, I think we learned to like Chris Jericho all on our own, but Sammy probably he's helped a little.
That's right, because I'm ride or die for Caitlin Clark now, and I've never watched a moment of baseball or basketball.
Baseball.
Whatever.
I'm ride or die for Caitlin Clark, and I've never watched a moment of baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever credibility Trish and I had as a sports wrestling podcast
Oh,
just
God.
went down the shitter.
I did that naturally, but I wish I said that as a joke, because it would have been a funny bit.
Well, it was still funny, Leah. It was still plenty funny.
Oh, that was good. All right, and the final award, which is the Tony Storm Award, or I guess I should say the Timeless Tony Memorial Award for Horniest Feud of 2024.
I think it's got to go to Hangman Swerve.
Certainly.
Gotta go to Hangman Swerve.
Tony Morai is the only thing that even came close to Hangman Swerve.
The unrestrained horniness of Hangman and Swerve. I don't disagree.
I
Do-
went.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I would like to give a special shout out. It wasn't the horniest of the year, but OC and Zack Sabre Jr. get a shout out because OC is he's horny in matches, but not usually for anyone in particular. Whereas with Zack Sabre Jr., it did bring it out of him. So
It was very specific. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. And I just said OC. Was OC best friend split this year? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? This year.
Yeah.
I just said in general.
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's
think it
not
was
it's not exactly the
March.
way we usually mean a horny feud, but God, it made me feel a lot.
It was
made me feel
extremely
a lot.
good. I think one of the things about like the weird ending because of Trent having more neck surgery is that feud kind of ended abruptly, but it was a very good feud for a very brief period of time. And Trent had a tremendous amount of heat. Right around not Double or Nothing itself, weirdly, but he was hot as hell at one point. Like people were booing the crap out of him.
Yeah.
They hated his guts.
Now,
So of course,
I also,
he disappeared off television.
Greggy, come back someday, please. I also wanted to call out, these aren't feuds, but these are just horny things I remembered from the year. Who did that move this year where they kind of got another man on the apron and then it just looked like they were,
Someone did it. Oh, it was Darby Allin. But who did it to
was
Darby?
it with? I had thought it was.
Was it Swerve?
It couldn't have been
No, it's Hangman. It was Hangman.
Hangman did it to Darby!
Point on the board. Point on the board.
Deadly silent this whole time. Point on the board.
That's right. That was intense.
That
Yeah.
was really something. That
That was not nothing.
Is that when
was
I
not
became a woman?
It was
the first
maybe
time-
one of the times you became a woman.
I also said that both Darby JB and JB Danny Garcia had quite a bit going on, and I said you have to give it to JB. He has decided to learn how to do horny feuds, and he has. And am I saying that it's gone 100% right the
No,
whole
but
time?
you always respect trying.
Of
and-
course I do, and
and
I
it's
see
not-
his growth.
Yeah, and it's not his fault that when Danny Garcia got him to his sex dungeon, Danny Garcia couldn't get it up. You know, like that's not JB.
His dad was there. His dad was right there.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
It was
What
really
am I
hard for
supposed to
him.
do?
He's like,
Hurt
"Fuck."
you?
In front of my father? Oh my god.
Didn't think it through.
You listen, every time you do something, you learn from it. Next time, Danny won't bring his dad to the sex dungeon.
Well, he's shown no evidence thus far that he knows about not bringing his dad places, so time will tell.
Listen, there are pairings I hate a lot more than those two, so I'm ready for I'm happy with the awkwardness of just Daddy Magic anywhere that Danny Garcia is.
In general, I'm not mad, but I'm like, Daddy Magic, stop supporting him emotionally.
I know. I'm like, I need Danny to like feel discombobulated. Instead, Matt Menard is like a perfect stabilizing
I know.
influence.
Like,
It's
you have to hurt
disgusting.
to grow.
It's true. It's true. All right. Just in general, I think as a consensus, would there be any disagreement on saying that Hangman Swerve was the best AEW feud of the year?
Yeah.
no, it's absolutely.
I mean, like,
yes.
no disagreement. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
That's no question.
Unless it's Hangman Jeff Jarrett.
I don't know, guys. FTR did some pretty good stuff this year.
What did I say about no Jeff Jarrett on this podcast? What did I say?
It's true. She did set a ground rule.
I
Wow.
guess I wasn't listening and didn't remember and won't be paying attention to it now, probably. Because I love talking about Jeff Jarrett. I can't help it.
The final award I am going to spring on you gals.
Okay.
It is
God.
the Mommy's Little Ham award for Mommy's Little Ham of the Year.
No.
Like,
It
who's
always-
getting the Mommy's Little Ham award for the whole year, do you think?
I
Matt
mean,
Jackson is always in the conversation at all times.
Yeah.
He's really always at the kind of at the top of the conversation. I mean, someone would have to work so hard.
I feel
Yeah,
like Kip
it's-
Sabian and Kyle O'Reilly had
Oh my God.
strong years this year.
Kyle O'Reilly
Kyle
for
O'Reilly
sure.
had the strongest possible year, except that he's just getting so many points deducted.
He is
Yeah.
getting a lot of
last
points deducted
month.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scuppered his chances by going back to Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Which
There's no ham there.
There's no ham to be had.
No.
I think Chris Jericho's got to be in the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Can't disagree with
You're
this.
right.
The
That's
stuff
true.
he's been up to, and honestly, his apples have also been trying. I mean, they're
Big
not
Bill's
winning,
been doing-
but they need to be talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big Bill
Yeah.
has been doing some strong work. I feel like MXM Collection are just too hammy to win Mommy's Little Ham Award.
It's like they're professionals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they came to ham.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Jackson comes to ham. I mean, he's a professional as well, but I think there's something about the MXM
MXM
character.
They're trying to be hammy. Matt Jackson isn't trying to be hammy, which makes his ham more.
Yeah.
He just
ham.
is ham.
Yeah.
He's just a beautiful spiral cut ham. So, does that answer your question?
It
Sarah?
does. It does. Thank you. All right. I think we need to give ourselves a round of applause for dominating these end of the year categories. Way to
yeah.
go. Very proud of everyone.
Trish looks a little like she has a migraine.
Trish is like, I can't believe the word horny has been said so many times on my podcast. Brian Alvarez is never going to come back on this podcast.
Oh my God. Listen, this was her idea, folks. That's all I'm going to say.
Now-
Listen to the full outro from last week. You know.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
And she
said
she
with
didn't
deep
tell us
regret
not
in
to
her
be
voice.
ourselves,
And she didn't.
which is always an option.
You can always try. You can always say it anyway.
Do you guys have any questions for us in terms of end of the year categories?
We do. So in terms of end of the year, no.
Oh, okay.
I was going to ask you our big question.
Oh, I love the question.
Okay. So our listeners will know that when we're not on the podcast, we're running our small business, which is a gas station in the middle of Nebraska.
Nowhere, I think is what we say.
Yeah,
So Nebraska.
Wyoming, Nebraska, one
Yeah.
of those.
A hypothetical gas station.
You're worried
Should
I might think we
clarify
have
this
a
is
real gas
a
station.
real gas station where we employ Kenny Omega.
I guess it's so true. There are people who could come on this podcast and they might be capable of actually running a business. Well, it's not us.
Is
You're
that
right,
us?
Sarah.
No. Yeah. And at our gas station, on each one of the pumps, there is a small TV screen in order to entertain you as you fill your vehicle. And on these screens, we're running a wrestling show.
As you do.
And we have 6 pumps in which to run our business.
6 to 8, I
Your
believe.
6 to 8.
hypothetical business
Yeah.
has 6 pumps.
Yeah. And, we've dedicated, some of the pumps to specific things. Some of them we haven't. But in the spirit of giving this holiday season, we would like to give you and Trish a week on a pump. What are you doing with it?
A whole week. And it runs 24/7, too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the 24/7
that's a
gas
lot
station.
of TV time.
That's good. The wrestlers don't need sleep, obviously.
Well, they come in and out. I mean, and sometimes, like, Kenny has his own pump, but we just keep a camera on him while he's sleeping, and
Yeah,
that's
Panda
enough
cam.
for people. Yeah.
That's Kenny's milk pump, yeah.
He would be entertaining while sleeping. Not many people could probably pull that off, but I imagine he would be able to. Oh, this is a difficult question.
It's your pump. You can do anything you want with it.
Trish, are we finally having the feud that could destroy our relationship?
No.
Hangman versus Orange Cassidy?
You pick yours. I've got my answer, but it's going
we're
to
not
come
doing
to
this together.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Separate bookers. Wow.
Okay, this is we've installed a new pump. There's one on one side, one on the other. So we've got Trish. It's really Trish v. Sarah. Okay.
Well,
Wow.
Trish obviously has Dynamite and I have Collision.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
Slow and comfortable.
I feel like my pump is going to be purely comedy matches.
Nice.
Love it.
Excellent.
It's like the comedy match pump. I just want ridiculous, like bring in Cecil Nix from Mystery Wrestling.
Nice.
Like just absolute the craziest comedy wrestling you can come up with. That's my pump. There we go. That's my answer.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. Love it.
So I'm going to break the rules because I don't want a pump.
Okay.
I want
Well,
like
pumps
a-
are all we got, Trish.
I just gave her that pump.
She's just
like-
rejected our pump?
Is she running the convenience store?
No,
Okay,
I got a good
We're
reason.
following.
Right, I want a deck chair.
Okay.
I want a hat. I want some sunglasses. I want a Gatorade. Right? I want a nice
We have-
flavors.
we have
red
all
or
those
blue.
things.
Red or blue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And I want like a little foot massage bath thing. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to sit next to the Kenny Omega pump and just watch Kenny Omega.
Nice.
You're turning down
Love
the
that.
opportunity to be a booker, and instead will be Kenny Omega's Milk Pump's #1 fan.
Yes. I want a
She
t-shirt.
enjoys
I want my
our
t-shirt.
booking so much.
Oh my god. This is now a featured Our Pumps for Us t-shirt is a picture. It's like the Orange Cassidy t-shirt. It's just a picture of Trish posted up in her sunglasses, in her hat, with her feet in the little pedicure station, with her Gatorade, watching the Kenny Omega pump.
Beautiful.
I like
I
this a
love
lot.
that.
I like this.
She's
a
our
lot.
mascot.
This could be official Trish and Sarah merch. We need to.
I've simply got to see a picture of it.
Trish
She looks-
watches her pumps.
And she looks so relaxed and happy just thinking about it. I love it.
That won't work, right? That's not British.
Well, this isn't in Britain.
No, it's in
No.
the desert. It's so hot
Exactly.
there.
I can't look like I'm warm, and I can't look like I'm happy.
Well, Trish, I think that maybe Kenny Omega is going to overcome, an entire lifetime of being British, and just bring you so much joy that you're gonna look blissed out in that beach chair.
I can live with that.
You heard it here first.
We dominated this. What a
Great
tremendous
work, everyone.
What a tremendous
Killer.
first segment, everybody. Great job. Great job.
Woo!
All right, so should we move on to our quiz portion of the episode where Trish and I
so
posit
scared.
questions, fact-based questions to the No Facts, All Feelings podcast members.
I'm so nervous.
Are you ready for this, Trish? Do you
Sure,
want to
no.
start?
Before we even start, should we tell the audience that we tested this on Leah last week?
Yes.
We asked her who, was it Ricky Starks had their first match with?
Yes.
And then
Who
we
would
gave,
know that?
Yeah,
Yeah, what freak of nature would know?
okay. But then we gave her a clue, and we said it was someone that went to WWE, and she didn't get it. And then we said it's a
And
blonde,
was blonde person. She did
I
get
just
it.
still don't get it.
No.
Jericho?
Jericho, yeah.
I'm so happy.
Oh my god!
I'm not alone.
Of course, I don't have a little Rolodex of Ricky Stark matches up here.
We have a Rolodex of
people that have gone
WWE people.
there.
Well, who was it?
Cody.
Toady?
Cody.
Oh, Cody, who's gone to WWE. I thought you meant just had been a part of WWE.
He had been
no,
at
no,
WWE.
No, it was tremendous.
This is
To
gonna
be
go
so
so well.
flustered in this moment that I just murmured, Toady?
Tony Rhodes. Adrenaline in his hole. It's Tony
My
Rhodes.
favorite part about Trish telling that anecdote is that she clearly was going to be like, and Leah's such a ding dong. And then my co-host said, no, us too.
Listen, we podcast together for a reason.
Yeah.
It's true. It would be crazy to do a Freaky Friday thing where we switched people around, but I don't think we can do that legally.
I'd be terrified.
All right, Trish, you asked the first question I have up here.
Okay, so the last match the Young Bucks had before they changed their gimmicks to the EVPs and started wearing vests or clothes, whatever you want to call them,
Shirts.
during their shirts during their matches was on November 18th, 2023. Who were their opponents?
The Winnipeg Jets. Golden
No.
Jets.
Golden
No?
Golden Jets is
Golden
correct.
Jets.
The win.
I think you
Yeah.
guys credit for Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because why are they called the Golden Jets?
Because they're from Winnipeg, and Winnipeg is the name of the hockey team.
The Jets, and
The
he's
Jets.
like the
No,
golden,
I know, but
golden
do-
elite, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the golden part is wrong for them.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah. They should be called the
Kenny's-
Winnipeg Jets.
Kenny's uncle is the Golden Sheik, isn't he? And that's where the golden part comes from.
Whose?
Kenny?
Yeah.
Kenny's uncle.
Yeah.
Yes. The
Trish
Don
is
Callis
nodding.
managed.
I'm right.
I'm not saying it because you're wrong.
I
I'm
believe
saying
you're
it because
right.
I learn new things every day.
And most of them are not presented by Leah.
The best thing about this is that like you just said Winnipeg Jets, and I'm just imagining them trying to wrestle half an ice hockey team.
Which I'd love to see.
I'd love
Yeah.
to see it, yeah.
Be a great gimmick.
Trish, can you write down that I knew
Yes.
who Kenny Uncle was when you were doing
Who
the
Kenny
points?
Uncle was.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
write down
Yeah,
that
we'll
shit.
we'll give you a gold point for that one.
Thank you so
Gold
much.
star. Gold
Boo.
star. You're like an English school kid now.
Hell yeah.
5
Well,
points
you
for
have to
Gryffindor.
be an English school kid now, Leah, so I don't
Yeah.
know that you really won.
Enjoy your little knee socks, Leah.
You just don't want the teeth.
All right, second question. On October 7th, 2020, Best Friends challenged FTR for the tag titles wearing T-shirts that portrayed FTR as what?
Hot dogs.
Nice. Amazing.
Wow.
Do you remember why they were wearing
No.
hot dog T-shirts?
I have no idea.
Because
I
they
cannot
said-
believe.
You guys are amazing. Because they said FTR were weenies.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah,
fun.
that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Allie,
tremendous. Nicely
You
done.
should get 2 points
Yeah.
for that.
Oh my
to be
God, I know.
honest.
From 2020? Amazing.
I absolutely cannot believe that came into my mind. And I'm doubly happy now because I know that Dustin loved buying some merch to wear on the television program. So
He absolutely did.
Guys,
Wow.
do you think, like, if we're dumbing Trish and Sarah down, they're dragging us up a little bit, so we're actually
Maybe.
getting smarter?
I've honestly
Maybe.
never felt more electrified since the last time we were on a quiz show.
All right, Trish, you're up with the next question. We only have 4 questions, so it's not going to be that.
Yeah,
challenging.
you've got a second quiz, but it's not wrestling.
It's not a. It's a fun quiz.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
Rich Latter inspired quiz. 'cause-
Oh my gosh, I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Okay, so what was the show and episode of AEW with the highest rating to date?
I couldn't. If you held a gun to my head, I could not summon even a guess.
It's got to be something like in 2021, but
Or was it the Punk debut show or something? No.
that was on Rampage too.
Was there a show where Hangman did like full on makeouts with a really sexy man? And I've forgotten about it because it's locked in my mind palace.
Was it when Snoop Dogg was there?
You think Snoop Dogg is a big ratings driver?
Was it when Shaq was there?
Oh, Shaq could be. I mean,
I feel like you were saying Hangman was making out with Snoop Dogg then. I was so
If he
Okay,
wants to,
that would be a rating draw.
I wouldn't hate it.
for sure.
Line
wouldn't hate
would
it.
go up.
What else has happened on wrestling that would have gotten some eyes on it? You know? What else has been so eye-catching?
Are you calling it?
Highest?
yeah,
Highest
we don't
rated
know, obviously.
episode of AEW TV was what show?
And it wasn't like the debut.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Oh, it was the debut.
Oh my god.
More people
I
had
actually
television
don't
then.
think that's what Sarah was going for originally, but then she
No,
asked
but-
me and I went, it's that.
I was like confirming. I was like, is it this? And she's like, nope, it's this one. I was like, oh, well, there we go.
What was the rating on that?
Hi.
Oh, look at
Okay,
Well,
this Darcy just got faced with two twin blank looks.
No, that's
Feels
fine.
good.
You know what? You give me a
Feels
question.
good.
Right? You have to wait
It
now.
was.
Look what you've done now. You got to wait for the answer now.
Gotta ask Dr. Google about this one.
No. I just got to scroll up a spreadsheet because I'm sadder than that.
She
More
doesn't
prepared.
need Dr. Google.
But she is Dr. Google.
She is Dr. Google.
Right, here we go. TNT, 10 second 2019, 1.4 million 878
Wow.
in the
That's a
demo,
lot of
which
people.
was a 0.68. There you go.
Wow,
Yeah.
like 6 and 8.
Pretty
God,
damn.
we'd love to get back there.
Different world.
That feels like the
different
only
world.
numbers that will exist on this show, practically.
Yeah. Well, no, we have one more number question.
Oh, we do, yeah.
Well,
I didn't even read one question down. That was good, wasn't it?
All right, final fact-based question.
Okay.
What is the AEW pay-per-view that has had the most pay-per-view purchases?
Now, Anne, I happen to notice that you haven't gotten one yet. So,
Yeah, and I think I'll keep that streak up. I feel like it could be All In of 21.
Very good.
nice!
Oh, yeah!
23, but we'll give it to her. Nicely
Okay.
done.
All out 21. I know what you meant. That's right.
No, 23.
No, it's not.
Now, what is the truth?
It's all out 2021.
Oh my
It
God,
is.
you're right.
215 to 205.
Wow.
Anne's
Wow.
expression right now is kind of like, I don't think I got that right, but I'm getting it right.
Pulled that out of my little mind palace. They really are
Wow.
sending us some smartness rays here.
This is definitely the most we've ever had access to our mind palace.
Can I just give a little disclaimer? Don't expect this kind of thing on. If you come listen to our show and you think like they actually did know some stuff, no, we fucking don't. Okay.
You'll never hear a word about a rating on our show, except sometimes we say, who cares about ratings?
Yeah. On our
And the
show,
answer is me, because I'm sad. No,
what we love about you guys caring about the ratings is that we can just knock them out of our minds. We're like, someone's
Yeah.
got that covered. They're keeping
taken
an eye
care
on
of.
the ratings. They're figuring out what
Exactly.
the ratings mean. We're just, all we have to do is try and access mostly what we watched on TV last night. And we don't do it.
And we don't.
We simply
real
don't
bad at
achieve
it.
that.
Listen, nobody explained Darby and Commander's dynamic better than you guys, so.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's the
Thank
kind
you.
of high level analysis we're bringing to the table.
I don't think anybody else is going to be able to cover that. So. All right, you
Definitely
have
not
to,
vitamin D.
Trish, this is your question next. You have to ask this question.
Yeah, because we had to have a train question.
We
right?
did have to have a train question. Yes.
Yeah.
Are there 2 trains departing
Do you know
different
what?
cities?
I was going to do that, and I was going to see if you could work. No. No, very simple train question. If Bryan Danielson is driving a train, where does it go before it reaches its destination?
This this an electric train, kind of a solar-powered train?
It's never an
steampunk
electric train. He's still on a
train.
diesel. He's on one of our 1980s diesels.
Brian Danielson would not be happy to drive a diesel train.
No,
But it's
he would be driving that train to like an eco think tank to figure out like alternate sources of fuel. He never
Exactly.
reaches the destination because
No.
he's got the train in pieces. They're trying to figure out like how do we get rid of this coal?
Yeah, I like that. I don't know.
You paused as if you were going to say something so profound. And you were going to be like, Brian Danielson, his journey it's truly the journey is so much more important.
Well, something crazy happened in my brain where I was just like, I was trying to get into my mind palace to visualize Brian Danielson on a train. I don't know why you'd have to get in your mind palace to do that.
I can see him with the hat on.
yeah,
In
with
a
the
Thomas
hat
the
on, for
Tank
sure.
Engine episode.
He looks so
then-
cute, yeah.
I ended up in what's the movie that I was briefly really obsessed with, where they're on the train that goes around and around the world forever.
Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer. And so then I imagined Brian Danielson on the Snowpiercer train, and I thought I would watch that movie. And then I thought, what are we talking about? What's happening here? So that's my answer. I think he'd be on the Snowpiercer train.
Well,
Doing cannibalism.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to kind of interrupt our quizzes for a moment
Yes.
because, Leah,
This is important.
you made a statement back in August that I've just never got over. And it turns out, the people of Wales have not got over it either. So I have a statement from Wales. Okay, let's see if we can run the music as well. Let's do some
There's
music.
nothing more terrifying than hearing you made a statement in August. Oh no.
That's the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. Do you know how
Okay.
many statements I've made?
Right,
Oh my God.
I've got some Welsh music. Here we go. We're going to do it from the dragon. Okay,
God.
we have a dragon. Okay. So whilst we may not feature on the flag of the United Kingdom, and they do not sing our anthem at the Olympic Games, Wales is a proud nation that is home to 4 times more sheep than people, gave birth to the corgi dog, and has been invaded so many times it has more castles per square mile than any other country in Europe. It is a perfect vacation location if you like the wet and the cold. A trip into the valleys. That's really bad. And to meet anyone with the surnames Jones or Williams. So why not come to Wales, which is very much a real place where the letters Q, V, K and Z don't exist in the alphabet, where a good national rugby side also don't exist, and the national symbol is a leek, which is the best of all vegetables. I actually wrote dragons, so that's quite good. For Wales, King Arthur and the imaginary dragon in the flag. Come on, Gunray! There you go.
Wow.
Tremendous statement on behalf of Wales.
Did you guys know, this is a fun fact, I'm actually friends with basically the Welsh ambassador to the US. She's not actually an ambassador because Wales isn't a full country, but, it's part
Not
of the
real.
United Kingdom. But yeah, she's always hanging out with celebrities with ties to Wales, and she has a cocktail dress budget as part of her work expenses.
I liked
Cocktail budget
cocktail
is
budget.
very
I liked
was-
cocktail
I mean, probably also, yeah, but...
She's a cocktail.
But I
budget.
didn't tell
love a
her
cocktail.
Leah's slander about the country of Wales.
Trish, can I ask if you're getting any kickbacks from the Welsh Tourism Board for this?
I should have emailed them. That could have been fun.
Certainly should have.
But yeah, so not anyone. What that people can't see is I'm holding up a little red Welsh dragon with. A
I'm in
green
love with
vest.
him.
And,
He is very
Leah,
sweet.
this one's for you, so I'm going to send you this little dragon because I have made this joke too many
Wow.
times and it needs to end. So this is the last.
No, it can't. And we could never let her forget when she said that she once didn't think Wales was real.
Okay, I was 16, but I also would like to take this opportunity to apologize to the people of Wales for my ignorance. You are a real place, and your dragon is really cute, and I think you should be respected for that and other things.
And other things.
There are many other
You should be respected for that. And other things.
Which I can't state at this time. Excuse me while I pull up Wikipedia.
At least you didn't say like they have some fine sheep or something.
But maybe
I'm sure they do.
They do probably,
They do.
yeah.
Yeah, Welsh hams. Okay, so this is very much the British section
Yes.
of our show.
Yes.
Okay.
God.
So
Okay.
I thought we could do a quiz. So Rich Latter seems to get a pop out of everything I say that's like British that I don't even realise is British. So I thought that seeing as I do a wonderful job of butchering the English language on a weekly basis, we'd see if you could figure out some what you think some English terms mean. And I am not going to read them because if I read them, I'm going to give you away with my infliction. So I'm going to get Sarah to
I'm going to read these in the most American tone of voice possible, which may be
Okay.
a little bit challenging because I hear them in a British accent. But
So
okay.
let's see
Try to
if
try to do it in your Long Island accent.
I don't think I can handle that. That's too much for me. All right. So the first one is, and I believe Trish, you want them to explain what these mean one at a time, right?
yes.
Okay. So the first one is, I am chuffed to bits.
It's like, I'm really excited, really happy.
So happy.
Oh my
And
god, they're
yeah.
going to be good at this.
With like excitement.
Our demographic is we read a lot of British literature as a child.
It's true.
So
Yeah, it's like
Trish is like, Trish is making I've made a huge mistake.
Trish, you're about to years of reading Enid Blyton novels is about to catch up with you.
All right. This one may be a little bit more challenging. Are you having a giraffe?
are you having a giraffe?
Are you having a giraffe?
Are you so excited to welcome a little baby into the world?
But like, maybe but, like the giraffe is like shaped weirdly, so maybe it's like, oh, you're having like it's an exciting thing, but it's gonna hurt. Well,
Maybe it's
happening.
a Bart Simpson don't have a cow man
Are you
situation.
freaking out?
Freaking out.
Don't have a giraffe, man.
See, a little tougher.
Yeah, this
Did we
was
get
more
it?
than I expected.
Well, what is
So, are you having a giraffe? If I say it like that, is Cockney rhyming slang. So it's like, are you having a laugh? Are you taking the piss?
Oh, damn it. Yes.
I quite like that one, so I go, are you having a giraffe?
All right.
Quite a lot.
Now I've remembered I also have to access all the Noel Streetfield books that I read. So that's how we'll get back to the copy.
It did
All right,
again.
I'm locked in.
I'm asking these in the most complicated way possible.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is, it's like Blackpool illuminations in here.
I thought you were going to say like aluminum then. And I was ready to just like go
I
nuts.
started to think what rhymes, and then illuminations hit, and I was like, I don't think this is probably rhyming slang.
It's like Blackpool illuminations
Yep. In here.
in here. It's so the lighting
So-
is so fun in here.
Hold on, let's do some detective work.
Okay.
Blackpool is trashy, right?
I think you're gonna get in trouble. I don't know.
I know.
You're gonna have to
But-
apologize to the people of Blackpool pretty soon.
You really
But
are.
isn't that what people said about Blackpool
I think
Comedy
that's right,
Club?
though,
That it was
yeah.
like
Oh,
it was like
okay.
essentially the Jersey Shore.
Yes,
Yes.
you're right. You're right. You're
And
right.
so
Okay.
illumination's like a black light. So are they saying like jizz stains?
Oh no, I don't think that's probably right.
It's like
Is that wrong? Yeah, and that's my final answer. Do you know that I have been producing this podcast for over a year, and this is the very first time that I've spoken out loud on it? And it's like shit stains.
Oh my god.
Okay, but
She might be broken. Might be.
I think it's either jizz stains or for some reason I have some kind of like allegory of the cave thing going on in my mind where I'm like it's like visions of boardwalk fun. It's like
Inheritor of the prophecy of Boardwalk Fun.
So,
I think that's all, as good as we're gonna get.
so
Plato's
the
Cave
lights-
combined with Boardwalk Fun. I love it. Good work.
the lights were actually the closest thing. So Blackpool Illuminations is like a run of lights that they do through like the fall, and like you go down the promenade and everything's like lights above it. It's nowhere near as good as when you were a kid, so I don't know if I'd recommend it. But the saying comes from people were very funny about leaving lights on in their house if they're not in a room. So if you walk into a room and there's lights on that shouldn't be, you'll hear someone say it's like Blackpool Illuminations in here.
So that's what, like, when...
So dads across Britain
Right.
are saying that.
When Claudio's being kind of a stern dad sometimes, that's what he's saying. He's like, it's like
saying-
Blackpool Illuminations in here.
Yuda.
Do I have
Yuda.
stock in the electric company?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
Jizz better.
It was a little disappointing to find out. I really
My answer had some intrigue. even
certainly
though I
did, yeah.
am going to have to also issue an apology to people in Blackpool.
I love the idea that jizz stains are so common in England that people have an expression.
They walk into rooms and they're like, God.
To be fair,
I
none of
did.
these things you are saying are insulting Blackpool.
I did want Leah to just produce one circumstance in which you think someone would feel the need to say it's like jizz all over in here. And you can't say after an Orange Cassidy segment on Dynamite.
Oh my god, okay. Whew. All right, the next one. It's the bee's knees.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
rad.
not just British.
Yeah, we say that too.
That's
So
like
rad and cool.
60s.
Something
yeah.
so cool, yeah.
That's
Nicely
like
done.
60s slang.
All right, this one's a little harder. That is codswallop.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, they're dominating. Black
Edith's got my back.
All right, the next one is it's a right dog's dinner.
I think that's like it's garbage.
Yeah. Like something you don't want.
But in what context?
I mean, any context. You could say it any time.
That's so confident, Anne. Anne's like, I say it anytime I want.
Anytime I wanted to. Just like when I walk into a room and I say there's jizz stains everywhere, I'd say this,
This is a right dog's dinner.
anytime. Yeah.
All the Blackpool Illuminations? Yeah, it's a dog's dinner.
Oh my god.
What specific context? Maybe it's like when you expected it to be really nice, but then you look at it and you're like, God, it's trash, actually.
It's just
I
scraps,
came
yeah.
here for a beautiful meal and you serve me dog's dinner?
Close. Close. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's basically like, it's a right old fucking mess. Yeah. So it
Okay.
can be any situation that's kind of a mess. That you just,
It's like AEW's booking right now. Let's tie it back to wrestling.
that very much is a dog's dinner.
Nothing but dog's dinner and Blackpool Illuminations as far as the eye can see.
Oh my god. All right, the next one is taking the biscuit. Taking the biscuit.
Now I'm just thinking like taking the piss or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Good.
wow.
well.
All right, and
A poor biscuit have to be in the same category as piss.
I just think it shows like how obsessed we are with like drinking tea, that biscuits have become that important in the way we
Oh, sure.
So
all right, last but not least, I am cream crackered.
Oh, like knackered? Is that rhyming
Very
slang for
good.
tired?
Wow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
And coming on strong at the end with British
Oh, yeah.
slang.
Points
Very
on the
good.
board.
Yes,
I-
actually.
I think that they kind of have an unfair advantage over me, though, because they're both citizens of a Commonwealth country, and
That is
I'm
true.
not.
Yeah.
So
We are subjects of the king in a certain
I
way.
do think that probably is why Anne and I have read some of the books we've read.
It's probably true.
I'm not a subject, and I've read Enid Blyton.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Look, you read what you want. I'm just saying that I know where some of the books in my childhood library came from, and it wasn't from this country.
if any of you travel here to see Blackpool Illuminations, I'm just I'm
I'm
disowning
be
to
you.
see
really
the jizz
disappointed.
rooms of England.
We can see jizz stains anywhere, Trish. Come on.
Can't wait. Next year on our podcast, we're planning such a fun trip to see the famous jizz rooms of England.
if I go to visit Trish and she tells me she's taking me to Blackpool Illuminations and she doesn't take me to an orgy, I'm gonna be so pissed.
There are people listening to this in Britain that know like a famous story about a Blackpool politician this year that links into
Did he have an
fun.
orgy?
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
then he locked
goodness.
himself out of his own flat or something, and you had to use public funds to get himself out of a drug. It's a whole thing. So it's just kind of funny that that's what you've got.
Incredible.
Wow.
Tremendous.
Okay.
All right, you're up next.
Cool, yeah, so I have a game, and I'm going to shamelessly say for anyone British listening, I stole this from Mock the Week and I don't care. So we're going to play a game of if something is the answer, what is the question? So for example, I'll give you an example to try and figure it out from. So if the answer was 10, right, the number 10, then the questions could be how many retirements will AEW give Bryan Danielson before his career is over?
Nice.
How many times will Tony Khan say great in one Scrum answer? I should laugh at my own jokes, they're so bad. And how many fans does this MJF Cole story still have?
Oh my god! I was worried that you'd say, how many months does this MJF Cole story still have in it?
We could go with that one. So we'll give you... Yeah, you can keep that one for a bit. So we're going to give you the answer, and you have to tell me what is the question. So the answer is Orange Cassidy.
Who can't read?
Who cares? Who is not going to beat Jon Moxley?
Twice.
Twice.
Who is going to end up somebody's like captured bride, determined to be ravished?
In our dreams. My God. If I thought that Tony
Only.
Khan would ever give me that, I would stop criticizing him ever.
All right. Next one. If MJF is the answer, what is the question?
Who didn't show up to work today?
Who has the worst hair at AEW?
Who needs an editor?
Oh my God.
This is tremendous. We're spectacularly bitchy in these. I'm living for it.
You have no choice.
All right. If Adam Cole is the answer, what is the question?
Oh my God.
Who
Who has
gave
the
everyone?
longest... No, go ahead.
Syphilis. I'm sorry. I just didn't know where she was going.
That's better than the one. I was going to say who gave everybody that expired self-tanner, but who gave everybody syphilis is so funny when you think like a real Adam Cole is like the nicest guy ever, and he'd be like, "Oh, geez, guys, I'm so sorry." The clap.
I guess the real, based on our podcast this week, the real one is who gave everyone self-confidence, but in scathing tone.
Oh my God.
See, I was going to go with who is the worst advert for a tanning salon ever. And
Poor guy. Who has the longest and most pointless entrance?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, actually, before. Yeah.
whose
do you
character has
think-
never changed in 10 years.
Oh, poor Adam
Not
Cole.
to sidetrack us from the game really quickly, but
Sidetrack.
is he going to keep doing that full entrance forever?
Yes.
Is he ever? No, Trish, no. I wanted to hear something different than that. I didn't want you to say that. I wanted you to say, like, no, he'll stop.
I found it really convenient last week, though, because I was putting out my recycling because it was, like, fucking pouring. And so I was like, I really have to do it. I really have to do it. And then I saw the words Adam Cole on the Titron, and I was like, oh, my God, I have, like, 15 minutes. I'll just do it now.
Oh, God.
I just
Yeah.
want him to do, like, I mean, I know he's not going to, but I just want him to learn from the Young Bucks and be like, okay, the entrance thing has gotten out of control. I'm going to exaggerate it now to comedic effect so it's so insane that everybody knows it's a joke, and then drop it forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
And then I'm
did-
going to put on different clothes and I'm going to have a different personality.
Yeah.
He did
Learn
do a
from your
good
peers.
job with that at the beginning of the year. After he was the devil, he changed his entrance and everything.
No memory of that.
Yeah.
Not
Was
Adam
that when
Cole.
he...
That happened?
Yes, it was like the squeaky music, and it was like, na, 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 and then like he would come out with the Undisputed Kingdom.
I don't think that happened. Was that when he fought that guy that nobody? It was a horrible match with Chris Jericho and that guy.
No, that was before that.
Oh, okay.
This
There's
is
him,
after.
Lenny.
And I was there. I was watching.
Yes, we went to the show together.
Oh, wow, you were there
I was there in
personally.
person. I was there. I was in the audience. I was just
Wow.
joking.
And he didn't boom baby.
No, he did the whole he was doing the whole Undisputed. I want to say era, but I know it's not what they're Undisputed Kingdom entrance, where they all had the beginning with like the weird, I want to.
But he didn't have a working ankle. Was he in a wheelchair?
No. Yes.
Sarah.
He was. Yeah.
Sarah, nobody cares.
Well, I was gonna say, Sarah, I've said to you multiple times that you could gaslight us.
I know.
If that's what you're doing, you do have to tell us at some point.
That's right. The joke can't last forever.
I'm after this is over, I'm gonna make you watch this entrance. I'm gonna find it and show
Oh
it to
God.
Why are you punishing them?
A fate worse than death.
you. Listen, I'll do anything I have to prove that I was right about something.
Remember when MJF was part of the Boom Bebe entrance and he would be like in front of him, kind of like
Yeah.
hands and knees, and it looked like he was mounting him, kind of? I like that.
Oh, that was great. Ugh. All right.
Something's got to give.
What are the other ones on this
Okay,
Trish?
so the next one is 2 years.
How much longer the Adam Cole MJF storyline will
No,
last.
there you go.
Can't beat that one. Yeah, that's
That's probably pretty good.
And the last one is Chuck Taylor.
who's the
most
dreamiest
beautiful boy?
Who's the sweetest boy?
Who's my beautiful boy? Who's done
Who's our
nothing
favorite
wrong.
boy in wrestling?
That was like a choir.
I know, right? It was pretty amazing.
You would think that we planned that, but we didn't.
No.
Wrestler
And it's
of the
funny
year.
because when the answer was Orange Cassidy, I thought about being like, oh, who's my sweet little son? And then I thought, no, I'd just be a little mean to him. But when you say Chuck Taylor, who's our sweet boy?
Reflexive.
Who's
Who
mommy's little
belongs
baby?
in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame?
Who would increase the female demographic by 100 if he was prioritized?
100, just 100, not 1,000, not 100, just 100.
Who's an
mean, like,
object of
a
abject bewilderment for Sean
percent.
Ross Sapp because people don't stop asking about him?
It's true. It is pretty funny how Sean Ross. You want to know about what? You want to know about who?
He's like, I have no interest in investigating that.
I think every man who's ever encountered us has been pretty bewildered, to be honest. It's not just Sean Ross Sapp. It's,
That's
yeah.
fair. To be fair, none of us are sending questions to Sean Ross Sapp asking about the status
Oh, God,
of
no,
Chuck
no.
Taylor. Okay.
No, it was just
No.
an iconic moment the first time he disappeared that people were like, is Chuck Taylor okay? And Sean Ross Sapp was like, do you want me to
I
find
guess
out?
I'll ask.
I think there's a video set where he's like trying to. There were like 10 questions in a Q&A, and he was just like, "I'll look into that, I guess." Like, just like, why do you care? Because we love him.
Yeah.
Because, Daddy, we love him.
All right. I feel like that's the end of our big series of questions for you guys.
Amazing.
Did
Wow.
we do
That was so
better
fun.
than you thought?
I feel like you're more British than I thought.
Yeah.
Our
Trish
general
seems a little
knowledge isn't
miffed.
bad. Yeah.
All those Mallory Towers books, baby.
Wrestling knowledge, medium to subpar.
I would
British
say
knowledge,
subpar, yeah.
high.
Medium seems high to give us.
Well, I don't know. We did better than I thought on some of those
I got
questions.
one of my
Actually,
own
that's true.
questions wrong that I asked, so you're still doing better than me.
And we got like working together. We
Together.
all of the questions got answered.
That's true.
We are 3 powerful legs on a stool. And each of us came to
Of a
work
stool?
today.
Just the one stool.
Just
Well,
one
for
stool.
some reason, we've said this from the beginning that we're 3 legs of a stool, but then it's like if one person isn't doing well, then it's okay because it's the other 2 will hold it up. But
how a stool
famously,
works.
stools can't really function with 2 legs, so kind of a flawed analogy.
Yeah. And sometimes the stool gets only 1 or even no legs.
Yeah,
No.
sure.
I don't like stools very much.
Oh, that's hurtful.
Thank you for sharing.
Stools are just so uncomfortable. Like, who's a stool?
Wow, she hates her podcast, you guys.
Okay, Trish, let's take this off the air.
I'm putting that in your blooper reel. I
My
hate
panda.
stools.
It needs to be my panda. I want to be my panda. Someone actually asked me to like release the panda cut, you cowards, in full caps the other day, and I was like, is the panda that important to life?
It was one of the greatest moments I've personally had in podcasting.
Hey, that person or anybody else, hit me up on Venmo. If you give me a name, I'll release the cut.
She does have all this footage. I do need to keep her in a good mood. I can't breathe her
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
All right,
we're
Leah's
in
winning
that.
the contest, clearly.
Oh, God damn it. That's not
Oh,
Why
fair.
have you spoiled my ending?
on.
You've spoiled my ending now.
But to burn you with footage, you'd have to remember where the footage was, so you're pretty safe.
Yeah.
But let's can we challenge you guys in our own way now?
I
Trish
love
and
that
Sarah?
for us. I'm ready for that. Or maybe I'm not,
think-
but I'm here.
I'm definitely not.
Well, get ready. Hey, girls, focus up because I want to hear some imaginative play. Okay, in this next segment.
I have full access to my mind palace, so anything is possible.
God damn it,
And-
that's bragging.
Girls, every time that we've had men play this game, they have excelled beyond
Yeah.
our wildest dreams.
Yeah.
So we
really
need
true.
you to really, really pick it up.
I don't know what they just access some kind of pure, like unbridled id when they do this. So try to get there.
Okay.
Some of you may ask, what are they about to do? On our podcast, we occasionally play a dating game. We have a random wrestler generator into which we've plugged mostly active wrestlers from AEW and some commentators. And we are going to give you 2 or 3 sometimes
Polycules are valid.
random wrestler names, and we'd like you to tell us what you think they do on a date, / for us it's usually how we think they ended up on a date.
Okay.
Okay?
Trish is ready. She looks poised.
I'm going to
So
take
I've-
notes.
You're
gonna
going to
take
take notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, as long as you speak as well. We've got Hook and Eddie Kingston.
Ooh, that's a good
my
one.
God.
I'm so interested.
I am very interested.
How would these two end up on a date?
And the
Yeah.
third name, to be clear, we have 3 because we sometimes do a totally different game with this, so it's not necessarily for dating. But I do have a third name in case you want to involve him somehow. It's Mark Quinn.
Okay. Mark Quinn has them doing shots.
Yep.
Shots.
Oh, God,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Right?
Nice.
That's
nice.
a useful friend. And when we saw the size of the shot glass from last week,
Oh, yeah, that's
hey,
true.
That's useful.
Yeah.
It's not going to take long for things to go off the rails there.
God, how do they end up on a date, though? They drink a lot.
Why is Eddie Kingston acquiescing to shots?
Yeah, great
He
question.
had a bad day at work. He lost a match to somebody he doesn't like.
Amazing.
Ooh, love
Right?
it.
Yeah. He's
Right?
slamming around.
Yeah.
He's in the locker room. He's slamming around. He's furious.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why
Yeah.
he's with these little kids who don't know what size shots are and
Yeah.
going nuts.
He's so
drinking.
busy, like, needling them and making fun of them and being like, you're dumb, that he kind of doesn't notice that he's accidentally also out at the bar doing shots with them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay?
And I will say from our games, sometimes the way they end up on a date is kidnapping. So, you can really open up the field.
See, I don't
us-
think Hook would ever say, like, yes to a date. He just probably mumbled, and Eddie took it that way. And he's like, all right, partner.
I love that.
Sure, misunderstanding. Yeah.
I feel like a misunderstanding is the only way these two are going on any kind of date whatsoever. Any kind of event at all. I feel like they could end up at like an after party where like
Okay.
everyone else is left and they're just in the bar and the bar is playing like some kind of horrible polka band music to try to get everyone to leave.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
And they end up on the street, and Hook mumbles something, and Eddie says yes because he thinks he's asking him if he knows how to get home, and suddenly they're in an Uber together.
You know, this could really be something though, because if Eddie's had his bad day, he's ranting, he's telling Hook, he's opening up to Hook, he's saying,
Hook says
"This
nothing.
is everything, nothing, perfect listener, perfect listener." The Hook is, you know, just quietly, his hair is in his eyes, you can't see his expression.
He's just eating his chips. He's just eating his chips the
Well,
whole
I have to
night.
say-
The whole night.
Yep.
What you're describing to me, and to be clear, I'm so into it, is that Hook has had a crush on Eddie Kingston for years. He is just, he never was going to make a move really, but it's just been building and building, and he's had all these shots because of Mark Quinn, and he kind of gets his courage up, and he says something, you know, and he kind of mumbles it, and Eddie says yes, and Hook is just like eating his chips being like, oh my God, I'm taking him back to my place. Oh my God, this is happening.
Eddie
this
thinks
is
they're
happening.
going somewhere to get weed or something.
Yeah.
Hook to me is inscrutable. I have no ideas what's going on in Hook's brain.
But I do think this does end in a place where Mark Quinn's like Eddie's like, I can't believe I'm going to sleep with that kid. And Mark Quinn's like, you don't have to, you know? And he's like, no, I'm gonna.
No, I'm gonna.
Tremendous. We got there.
I actually think that's one of our more...
That's a pretty good one.
Like, I'd read that book. I'd love to read that Harlequin.
I don't know if I would, but I wouldn't turn it so that you couldn't see the cover.
All right. Well, that's, you know, sometimes that's all you can get. Okay. We have got... This is... Wow. Sometimes this is a completely randomized wrestling generator, okay? But sometimes it plays a little joke on you. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage.
Oh my God.
And then on the side here, we've got Hangman Adam Page.
Whoa. The spreadsheet is working for them. Both of these I've been into off the jump. I'm like,
I know. This is a hot segment.
So it's kind of like, how does Hangman reunite Christian and Hope?
Whose
Well,
home
they
is he
screwed him
burning?
out of a title, Sean.
I think right now we're explicitly trying to do some booking for AEW. We're like, okay, what's going to happen when Cope comes back? Hangman's going to somehow prime Christian for love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe it's like,
You got to take this one, babe.
yeah, Trish.
Why do I gotta take this one?
I did my part. I got Eddie Kingston and Hook together. You have a tag team. It's way easier.
So they've been
good
married.
scenario
They
shit.
broke up.
Yes, it's a comedy of remarriage. How are we going to get these two back in the sack?
Trish's
Burn his
face
house.
is so
Burn his
funny.
house. Hangman just gonna burn
Oh,
his
so
house.
oh my
Okay.
God.
Which one
Hangman-
burns whose house?
No,
Oh,
he's
Hangman
gonna
burns?
burn Christian's house because Christian's gonna have the loss, right?
Christian's homeless.
He's homeless.
Oh, all
He
right,
needs somewhere
all
to
right.
stay. He's out in
Oh.
that horrible Canadian winter. He's not. He's in.
Oh, he's freezing.
Yeah,
he's
we're
freezing.
gonna
No,
pretend
no,
he's
he's
still
still
in
in
Canada.
Canada. He's still
freezing.
winning. He's so cold.
He's got no
Yeah.
coat. He's got nothing. You know, he's not even got his briefcase. He's got no Kip Sabian. He's got no
There's
Nick
only
Wayne.
one.
Oh, no.
He only remembers one phone number because it's his childhood best
Yes!
friend, which is in your head forever.
Wow.
So he treks all the way to the phone box. And he puts in his 20 cents, or it's Canada, right? 40 cents, and he's just like
Vietnamese?
dialing that number, and he's just hoping. He's hoping Adam will pick up. Like, please pick up, Adam. Please pick. What am I doing? Please pick
No, you're doing it. It's perfect.
Please pick up, Adam.
I'm on
It's
it.
so cold. Oh, it's so cold. I didn't even stay near the house, and that was the only thing warm because it was still smouldering.
Yeah.
It's
Christian's
smouldering like
stupid.
my heart right
Yeah.
now. Oh my god.
No, that was so good. That was so good.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Now,
Amazing.
can I shift it slightly, just because we were talking about it this very week? The Hangman sets Christian Cage's house on fire. Christian Cage, as he's fleeing, bonks his noggin. And he is experiencing, he's dizzy, he doesn't know where he is. He has lost his memory. And yes, Cope's number is the only number he remembers, but he doesn't know whose number it is. He doesn't even know who he is.
Wow.
He doesn't know he's a heel.
He doesn't know he's a heel.
And he doesn't know they've had a horrible falling out. He's like, I just remember one number. He calls it, a man picks up, and he's like, I need help.
I need help.
He assumes they must be close
go.
friends.
Cope maybe even hangs up on him. Christian has to burn another 40 cents to call back and say, I'm scared. I'm cold. I don't know who I am. Help me. Please help me.
I can't believe the authorities let him go at this stage.
They didn't. He got out of the house before they got there, so.
Yeah, left it burning.
And Adam Copeland has to make a decision.
Cope isn't like turning it down, right? He's that guy that just like, I don't care what you did to me. I don't care how many times you broke my heart. I will be there.
Oh, yeah. He's a doormat.
Ooh. I mean, he's not going to leave him in the snow to die, you know?
No.
Like, no matter how mad he is.
He knows that Christian Cage could be playing a trick on him, and he's still like,
true.
I guess I have to do it anyway because I'm a good person.
Wow. And so he takes Christian in, and then you have a whole arc where Christian is like, he slowly is revealing stuff about their relationship, and Christian is being like, sounds like I was a dick to you. I don't know why you let me into your home.
There's a
and
power outage. There's some snow.
Snow.
There's
Yes.
cozy sweaters.
Candles.
Yes.
They gotta have candles lit.
Yes.
He's wearing Copeland's clothes.
In
They're the
front of
same
a cozy
size.
fireplace.
They're both big
Yep.
boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big boys.
Wow. God,
There you
I'd watch
go.
it. Hallmark movie. I'd watch
Perfect.
It'd be more interesting
Beautiful.
than anything they could possibly do with this upcoming reunion. I'll just say that right now.
It's true. And let me ask, after Hangman has set the house on fire, what's he up to in
Drinking.
this story?
Drinking.
He just is like, I don't give a shit how that turned out. None of my business.
He's with Eddie and Hook in Private Party doing shots.
No, he's standing at the back of wherever they are doing shots, drinking furtively out of a flask.
I think I love the idea that Hangman was like, okay, and then we'll continue to fight. So he's going to come on Dynamite and be mad that I burned his house. And Adam Copeland or Christian just never shows up to work again for a month. He's just snowed in Canada. Hangman's like, I guess it worked.
Do you think that Hangman sees burning houses as foreplay?
Yeah. So yes. So
He
he's
was trying to make a play
disappointed.
for Christian. It all went wrong.
Wow.
Oh my god! And that reignites the Hangman Swerve feud because
Yes.
Swerve is furious. You're gonna burn
Yeah.
somebody else's
You're
house.
gonna burn somebody else's house?
Yeah,
the hell?
I thought I was special
I thought
to
that was
you.
ours. I thought
You
that was
drank
our
my
thing.
blood.
So actually, we really benefit from this
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because we
the
get Hangman
viewers.
Swerve again.
Sure.
And no Christian on TV.
Well,
I like Christian on TV.
we don't. Do we want him to be world champion? No, not at all. But do I want to watch whatever weird stuff he's got going on with his weird little family? Yeah, I do. I'd
Listen.
like to see it.
Every nuclear family, like you said, is made up of father, a mother, a son, and Kip Sabian. A random adult man that just happens to be there.
Yeah, I think I believe I said that you took it off the street and signed a sex contract with, but yeah, what you said is fine too.
And I called Daddy's special friend.
Okay,
All right, what do we got next?
we have got. Okay, what? We're getting some repeats, so I'm trying to get rid of them.
That's
God. God.
Are we just doing one more? This is our last one.
I feel like this probably is our last one.
Well, then I want to make it good, and now I've got to find a good one.
I respect that. I respect that. You can make it happen. I'm not worried about that.
I don't know that I think this is a really good one, but let's give it a try. Let's stretch ourselves because we got some gimmies.
We do.
This is Nick Wayne, Jeff Parker, and then as a third we have Nick Jackson. And Nick Jackson always kills it as comic relief in these scenarios. I believe we had him marry Christian once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
we did,
Well,
yeah.
Matt was locked into a closet.
With Kyle, I think, right?
Oh, with
Yeah.
Kyle Riley, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he came out of the closet, and Nick Jackson was just like, "I'm married. Christian and I are together." That was a good one.
Am I allowed
Nick
to
Wayne-
say that it took me at least 5 seconds to work out who Jeff Parker was?
Yeah.
It did actually say Cool Hand Ang here, but I just don't use that name for him. We just personally don't use that name for him.
Cool Hand Ange. Cool Hand Ange and Nick Wayne feels a little inappropriate, to be completely honest with you. I feel like that's breaking some kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeff
Parker's
Age gap
already
romance.
left. He's left one family. I mean,
Well,
he might
that's-
as well leave another one, you know? Do something sketchy.
You could do. I mean, like if you put aside a date and you made it like a different also psychosexual, but less romantic thing could be like Jeff comes back and he sees Matt and Danny happy, and he says, "The last time I was happy, I had a son."
Oh, so he tries to steal Nick Wayne away from Christian Cage?
Says, "I can raise you better."
Okay, now
Let's
I'm
go.
far more
Let's go on
comfortable with that
father-son
one.
dates.
I'm more comfortable with that one, too.
Let's go on father son.
How does Nick Jackson play into all of this?
I don't know.
Nick's
Well,
Nick's gonna come up with ideas of things they can do together because like
Oh,
Jeff is
he's
like
trying to help Cool Hand.
I guess
Oh, that's
he did
nice.
he just adopted JB.
yeah, he's like the dad that just does not know where to take his son. He's like, I only get to see him once a week. Like, where do I take him? And like he's like, can I take him to the strip bar? And Nick's like, no.
Nick's like, you got to take him to the batting cages, right? Like
Trampoline park.
Trampoline park.
That's it. And then,
is-
ice cream after, and so much
Yep,
so
yep.
that, like, the kids
Don't say
so
anything
hyper.
weird. Don't
Yeah.
talk about your other family.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it. We're just going to do things together.
Right.
And this is, oh my God, this is the world in which Christian is snowed in Canada, so he can't defend his family.
no.
He's not there.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Leaves a real opening there.
Guys, this is really a cinematic universe we're creating. I know that listen, I know we said that was the last one, but can I just make this the last one?
Okay, yes. We'll do one more because we're having such a good time.
It's
Sorry, I'm looking at
MJF
Trisha's face.
and Nick Jackson. And then our third is Sting. And we're in our cinematic universe. So Nick Jackson in the cinematic universe has been giving dad-son date ideas to Jeff Parker.
Whilst fending off MJF's advances.
I think he might be giving into them. They're going on a date, but
See, the thing is about this one is, right, it's just kind of like, this sounds really wrong, but it's kind of like his relationship with Matt because, like, he won't talk on this whole date whatsoever. And
he
MJF
won't have
will
a
just-
chance.
Yeah, and MJF will just be like,
Yeah.
Oh my God, and Nick does the fish face thing where it's like his eyes are open, but no, he's not. Nobody's
He's
home.
not home.
nobody's home. He's just watching, like, the basketball game in the corner in the bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exact. Maybe it's. I was gonna be like, why? How did he even end up on this date? But maybe it's that MJF was like, I need to talk to an EVP. I need to see the manager. I have some things to talk about. And Nick didn't. He was like, well, I guess the game will be on at the bars.
He never answered. MJF just took it and was like, okay, we're going. Bye. Set a time, and Nick was like, I guess we're going to the bar.
And then MJF somehow gets under the impression that Sting is responsible for, like, is everyone's father at AEW. And so
The ultimate father.
Yeah, so he goes to Sting and is like, can we get married now? And Sting has to break news to Nick Jackson that MJF is going to propose. And Nick Jackson's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
This is another, in our previous scenario where Nick and Christian Cage married, it was because Christian was trying to marry into an EVP vote, but he didn't realize that Matt and Nick have one vote.
So this could be MJF trying the same thing.
Exactly.
Wow.
The guy does like a little power
And I guess
play.
Nick
He's
is
got
just
his
used to
diamond
it by
ring.
now. He's like, men are always
like-
trying to marry me for my EVP vote. They don't realize I don't even have a full vote. But who cares?
See, my alternative use for Sting is that he's just sat at the back of the bar, like on top of a cupboard or something.
Yes.
Just, like,
Yes,
watching.
perched.
Oh, so MJF doesn't know that Sting is watching. Like he
No.
but Sting is
Batman.
keeping an eye on it.
Oh yes,
Wow.
because good Christian boys, they stick together.
Yeah. And listen, MJF tries anything, like a roofie or anything like that, Sting is right there to swoop in
Right
and
there.
help out.
And I am imagining him as a literal eagle. And
Yes.
that MJF tries for a butt grab and he like eagle screams at
And he
him.
grabs the hand and like twists it up behind his back.
Don't you dare, not until you're married.
I'm glad you did another one. That was tremendous.
Yeah, I think we needed that.
I do love the fact that the randomizer keeps putting Nick Jackson in these scenarios.
It loves getting Nick Jackson. I think it just knows that he adds just a certain comedic flair to every single
Romantic
little pairing
situation.
that he's in. Yeah, because you immediately imagine the fish face. You immediately imagine when Nick Jackson is just like, don't know why this is happening, but I'm watching a basketball game in my mind.
And I'm all 5 players. And I scored
Space
all the
Jam.
baskets.
Nick Jackson, I love you. I have to say, Trish and Sarah, I think you guys killed it.
Yeah.
I mean-
Amazing job. Amazing job.
Trish looks like she doesn't trust us, but these were some of our best scenarios. I mean, I really am
No.
like, God, I wish I could watch it.
It's Trish's Britishness where she gets deeply uncomfortable being complimented. One of the purposes I serve on this podcast is that when we finish, I say, "Girls, that's an amazing episode," and Trish says, "Shut up, don't say that."
Yeah, but
I
we
respond with, yes, I know.
we had this on the air last week when I gave an answer, and Sarah just looked at me, and I was like, "What are you looking at?"
Would you be more comfortable, Trish, if I just said a little, like, offhandedly, well, that was perfectly passable?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's fine. Yep.
that's meeting her where she's at.
I had no problems with that segment. Perfectly passable.
Good. Right, moving on.
Well, I don't know that we have anything else scheduled to discuss, my friends. Is there any other topic or thing you guys want to talk about on our spectacular holiday extravaganza crossover episode?
I think we have like 2 questions that I want to ask off to the list that you left me, that you've now completely
please.
ignored.
I don't know. I freaked out.
No, it's cool. I like these ones, so let's ask them.
Okay. All right.
So, what is the most insane thing wrestling has made you do in real life this year?
Oh, my God.
Oh, this year?
Yeah. So I will give you mine, because as soon as I read this, I thought of something.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the Hangman promo when he was talking about Swerve breaking into his home, the one on social media?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was watching it on a train coming back from London, coming back from my dad's, and I'm like watching this thing, and it gets more intense, and I'm like, oh my God, they can't screw it up. Oh my God, they can't screw it up. What the fuck is going on? And I'm literally like, I feel like I'm climbing up the window of the train. I am not climbing up the window of the train. But I'm going absolutely nuts. And I'm watching it again and again and again. And then we pulled into the last station, and there was people getting on and sitting down next to me to go back to London, and I didn't even realise.
You got so lost in the sauce of wrestling.
I was just like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I need to get off. I'm not going back to London. I need to go back.
We almost lost you forever. You could have just been
Wow.
wandering the wilds of England forever.
Only one phone number remembered. It was Adam Copeland.
And it's Adam Copeland. That's everyone's one phone number, I believe.
That's what we got.
Everyone's only phone number they remember is Adam Copeland.
I feel like everything I do because of wrestling is insane. I mean, I think it's
I know.
insane every time I'm like, just in a group of, my normal MFA friends, and, I just say something like, oh, I can't do anything that day. I'm watching a pay-per-view all day. Oh, I'll be watching the Naked Men all day. I can't do that.
Yeah, was this the year that I bought the best friend tracksuit without
Yes.
remembering?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
During
you
Dynamite.
tried to get the Young Bucks sneakers.
Oh, I did try to get
and
the
they
Young
got
Bucks
snatched
sneakers.
out from under you.
Snatched out from under me. They let me buy them on the website, and then 3 days later they emailed me and were like, they're sold out actually. Like, what? Champs? What the hell?
I paid for Wi-Fi on a plane to watch All In.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's a new low.
Did the Wi-Fi work?
No, that was the worst part. I was trying to watch it, and the worst part was it was the Young Bucks versus FTR versus the Acclaimed, and literally as the match started, the Wi-Fi stopped buffering, and I could hear the match, but I couldn't see it, which was extremely frustrating because
Wow.
the
It just
commentary
said,
was
Sarah,
not-
don't subject yourself to FDR on this plane.
I know.
Flight is hard enough.
It was I was like, what is happening here? Ugh.
Wow.
I
You
know.
got one, Leah?
See,
I
Leah, now the shoe's on the other foot. You've got the face that I had during the
I
last-
know. I don't like to volunteer details about myself, which is why I really try to avoid what makes me happy.
Sarah's laughing here, by the way.
Yeah, because they don't shut up is why they're laughing. But I have a friend who really enjoys making craft projects, and she is on
Oh my God.
a kick. She's on a kick to do a craft project for each one of our friends, and it was my turn. And we talked about what craft project she would make for me, and she made me a knitted Matt Jackson, which I have now prominently displayed in my home. It is a yarn doll. And we got into an intense discussion because she was like, do you want his hair down or up. And I was like, oh, I can't have both. And she was like, well, you can't move his hair once I do it. And I was like, oh, that's so disappointing. I guess I'll deal with it. And my guilt trip was such that she looked up the design of Moana dolls. So
Who else has a lot of hair?
Moana hair. And so
Matt Jackson does have Moana hair. Let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is my prized possession, and it's also insane.
Do you ever put his hair in his beautiful halfback?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Wow.
I do.
See, you said intense discussion, and all I could think of it was with the doll.
I do consult. I say, oh, Matt Jackson, we're really in it now.
Every time you bring a little question to your friends now, just like, oh, I don't know what I should do about this. I'm just going to imagine you've already had a long conversation with your Matt Jackson doll about it. And that the two of you agreed, like, well, I guess we'll consult some other people. I think we can't work this one out together, just us.
I can't figure this out. Let me ask Matt Jackson.
Let me ask Matt Jackson. Sometimes on our podcast at the end, Allie will be like, so any fun plans this weekend? And maybe I'll start being like, well, Matt and I have some projects around the house.
I will not need to call a doctor. I will be like, I don't need to reach out to your family. Everything's just fine. Oh my God. Every once in a while, the cleaning people separate my Chuck and Trent action figures that I have perched by the television. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Do not.
My cleaning people put my OC and Chuck in little tableaus sometimes, which I do enjoy. Yeah, they put like one arm around the other one, and
That's so cute.
So sweet.
I know. I was like, I'm glad you guys had a good time.
Oh, I love that. It makes it feel like they're having adventures while you're out of the house.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little elf on a shelf for an adult. Yeah.
Okay, and last question. This is a nice one to finish on. But what has been your favourite memory that you've made or thing that you've seen this year?
Wrestling wise, I assume.
You tell me. So it's the end of your question.
This is a suck-uppy cop-out, but I feel like this is the year that I've just been like, oh, I'm so grateful to do a podcast with my great friends, and they make me happy every week when I get to chit-chat with them, and I always think it's nice that you guys, the listeners, perhaps not all the Trish and Sarah listeners, but that our Tunnel Talk listeners enjoy us as well, but I love my friends, and I love podcasting with them, so that's an ongoing great memory.
Yeah, actually joining the Social Suplex Network this year
was
was incredible.
Was that this year? Yeah.
It started right first of the year, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have merch now. Isn't that insane?
We have merch
that's
now.
wild.
That's amazing. In fact, I am wearing my Trish and Sarah merch.
I am wearing my Social Suplex one.
Oh,
The
nice.
Social Suplex one is so good.
Yeah, it looks great.
They're good quality sweatshirts. I'm not going to lie. I love this thing. I feel like going to Forbidden Door with Trish was definitely my happiest.
Yeah.
Get out of my head
Nice.
now. I was going to say, do you know what I was going to say? There was two moments that stuck out for that show, right? Was the guy that was near us during the six man who said who's going to lose, and both of us at the same time went Tanahashi. Because that was very funny. And it has to be Britt Baker's return.
Yeah.
Because we just lost our shit. We had so much fun in that moment.
It was just a fun show. It was a fun weekend. It was just one of those things where you're just like, oh, we're just going to have a really good time. And we did.
Are you going to tell everybody about how I jinxed some poor diner?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We went to a diner, and a week after we went to... So I took Trish to a diner, like a basic Long Island diner, and we had a very nice lunch. We had a nice meal, and the week later, it burned to the ground.
Oh my God, Hangman.
Wow. He's everywhere.
He follows Trish wherever she goes.
It was funny as hell. I was like, oh, yeah, that diner's gone now. Like, completely decimated by fire.
Wow.
But yeah, but we had nice eggs before it was destroyed.
At least you gave him a nice send-off.
No one was
Yeah.
harmed in the burning of the diner. It happened in the middle of the night, everybody.
That's good.
That is good.
Well, it does sound like arson, though.
Listen, sometimes your lease payments or your tax payments get too difficult, and you need to resort to arson. It's Long Island.
among us hasn't?
Anything is possible. Let's be realistic. But yeah, my other favorite part of that weekend was Trisha's flight got changed, and I was like, "Well, my dad's driving to the airport. Bye." My parents.
It was lovely.
It was very funny.
I think what we're learning is that it really is about the friends you make along the way.
It really
So
is.
true.
What's
Hey,
the point of
guys.
doing any of this if you're not having a good time?
You got to have a
right.
good time. You got to be goofing with people that you love, and start a podcast maybe if you're out there.
Everybody should have,
fun.
it's wrestling. Everyone should have a podcast.
So important to have a podcast.
See, we all met because I did some stupidly long podcast because I couldn't deal with mass
my
media
God.
coverage of all that.
Yeah,
See?
it's pretty wild.
Trish, it would be too embarrassing to share with you, but I recently was going back looking for some old stuff in our group chats, and the conversation where we're just listening to this and just like all capsing each other, like, she's exactly right, like, no one has said it before, like, no one else is talking about it this way. we were really screaming our support.
It really makes me believe in the fates, the fact that we all met this way. Because you did this podcast, and it wasn't on any normal streaming platform. It was only on a Substack. It hadn't been highly promoted anywhere. And
No.
it was just that Allie had one night where she was bored, and she never goes on Reddit, never.
No.
But that night she was bored and she was cruising Reddit and she saw a recommendation, and what made her click on it? Don't know. She clicked on it.
God knows.
It was a 4.5-hour podcast, and she listened to it.
And I did have to, when I brought it back to my friends, I had to be like, listen, I know you're going to look at this and say, it's a 4-hour podcast. I'm not listening to that. I don't care. I really think that you need to listen to it. I think that we all need to listen to it.
Yeah.
And we all did. And
Over the span of a week, we were just
immediately
all
we said, we
and-
love Trish. We're in love with Trish. Trish is our wife. Trish is the wife of the pod.
Yeah.
Right, no, we've talked about no compliments. Let's move off on this.
It's just a fact that you're our wife. I don't understand what the problem is.
It's not complimentary. It's derogatory, if anything.
I mean, it's not a position many people are comfortable with. It's like, you're our wife now.
We said, we'll have her as our wife. And then next thing you know,
Leah was like, you got to talk to this girl. You got to talk to this girl. Leah was so frustrated at me attempting to have a conversation with her about facts.
But I was
Things
because
Dave Meltzer had said that she was like, you should talk to Trish.
I remember the days when Sarah used to email Leah her thoughts on Dave Meltzer's podcast every morning, I think.
Yeah, and I would often share it with you guys because I was hoping that someone would come up with something intelligent to say that I could then say to Sarah to reward her, because I liked reading it. I just had nothing to offer back. And so when I listened to the 4.5-hour podcast, I was like, Sarah, I found her soulmate. And Sarah, like normal people would be like, I'm not listening to a 4.5-hour podcast. And I was like, but you don't understand. She's you, but British. And you have to talk to her. She wouldn't. Until
she made
she
us.
did.
Well, there you go, folks. That's lore with a capital L.
it's true. I like we dropped a little lore here at
I
the
dropped
end.
a little lore. You stuck it
Yeah.
out. You waited till the end. You listened to the whole podcast. You get rewarded with lore. I love
Yeah.
that I'm saying that like lore is a reward of any kind.
So you guys who listen to it, don't you go spilling this lore anywhere
Yeah.
all over the internet like I'm sure you want to. Don't you go running around saying, I know the backstory lore of Trish and Sarah. No. If you got to listen to the end to get this.
Yeah. Only people who've made it through all of the
This.
datings. All of the dating games.
The quiz, the dating game, the MJF award for the feud that no one gives a shit about.
The jizz rooms.
And I hope all
Of
five.
course, the jizz rooms,
I hope all 5 of you enjoyed the Blackpool Illuminations.
Tim Hunter, this was for you.
We love you, Tim.
We do love you,
Love you,
Tim.
Tim. Oh my God. Seriously, the jizz rooms is going to stay with me for the rest of my life.
Blackpool Illuminations will never mean anything else to me.
No,
I'm
for
afraid.
sure. No.
I tell you, next year when they're back on and I'm working up there, I'm just gonna take pictures of it and then stick them up to see what you.
Wow, filthy stuff, Trish.
Warn me so I don't
when
open
this
the
episode-
pictures in public.
When this episode goes up, it goes up with a picture of Blackpool. That's it.
Yes.
Aw,
That was
that's so
just
nice.
tweeting a photo of Blackpool. Agreed.
Oh god! All right, I've got to try and do the close now without screwing it up at least once, which is very
We won't
unusual.
look, no one will look directly at you.
That's right.
It's okay. I'll be like cross-eyed like Shawn Michaels. Okay. So this has been. I'm gonna get the title wrong, haven't it? Because you never shared the title with me. Do you know you never?
I
shared
did. It's in the notes.
Is it?
Is it gonna?
Yes.
Is this gonna end after this? Do we get a chance to say thank you for having us, or should we say it now? Thank
Yeah.
you for having us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
for
us.
doing it. Are you kidding?
Seriously.
Had such a blast.
No,
Can't wait to do
totally.
it again.
This was fun.
Yes.
And
Actually,
you've really exposed us to an audience that
Didn't
they're
ask for
gonna
this.
didn't ask for this, yeah, but we're so happy to be here.
oh,
Nice
we've
to
got
meet you.
2 sets of notes.
Yes, I shared 2 sets of notes. The one for us and that everyone could see, and the one just you and I could see that had the quiz answers on it. The incorrect quiz answers. I'm not getting over that.
How have we got to? Okay, right, fine. Okay. So this has been the Trish and Sarah and Tunnel Talk wrestling podcast holiday extravaganza special. How many adjectives can you get in?
It's a very special podcast, Trish.
It is. So
Very special episode.
yes. So if you are listening to this around your Christmas festivities, or even just have some time off, please enjoy whatever you do. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'm not very good at doing it. I hate that. That's such an American thing. I'm sorry. Happy Holiday. Why do you even say that? Like,
It's political correctness.
And there's Christmas and there's New Year's, Trish. There's 2 of
And
them.
there's Hanukkah.
oh yeah,
Certainly.
Happy Hanukkah. Yeah. I'm rubbish at this stuff. This is why we don't let me do these things. This is why someone else even did my own clothes for me when I appeared on their show last week.
What I love is that you've sounded fine this whole time, actually.
Yeah.
It's true.
I just want to be Jeremy Donovan. I want to be Jeremy.
Everybody wants to be Jeremy
He's
Donovan.
so good at
Only
it.
Jeremy can.
He's so good. He is. He's smooth.
Smooth.
Do you think that if we asked really politely, we could get him to do the close for both of our pods? Like, so it's
yes.
like us the whole time, and
so
then it
nice.
just pops
Trish
in.
and Sarah
Yeah,
wrestling podcast.
yeah.
Maybe.
I think I feel like we should. I feel like
Yeah.
we should. Is this episode being produced by Leah?
Yes. I'm not. Are you producing it? I'm not.
Who else would do it?
We didn't talk about this.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yes.
is in fact me.
So Leah, who can actually talk today for the first
Yes.
time ever, is our wonderful producer, who I never ever give enough credit to because I am completely useless at reading my own notes, so it's even more embarrassing. We've also learned today also that I am very bad at logging into Zoom and thought there was a different link for each week. So my technical prowess is through the roof at the moment. But no, thank you, Leah. We do really appreciate you. We wouldn't be here without you. We say it
Nope.
every time, but we say it for a reason. So
Yep.
thank you very, very much. We are also, part of the Social Suplex Network with people like Jeremy Donovan on Keeping It Strong Style, One Nation Radio, All Things Elite, Wrestling Art with Chris Fings, Imps, WWE Adventure, the AEW Match Guide. Who am I missing? Have I missed anybody?
What did you say? One Nation Radio?
I did.
Good. Then yes, I think you got everybody.
I got everybody. The list keeps getting longer. I have to keep remembering things. But you can find all of these great podcasts over at www.socialsuplex.com, www.socialsuplex.com, on Red Circle, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Do you guys listen to on Spotify and add your music, or do you split them?
I just have everything on my iPhone.
Oh my
I
god.
split them. I use
Yeah.
Trish is
podcast
horrified.
apps
Oh my
and
God.
Spotify.
I used to, but then my podcast app kept fucking up, so now I just listen to everything on Spotify.
It's just too confusing for me. But you can also find us in the Social Suplex Discord. Come in, get the rabbit pictures every week. We are now weekly rabbit pictures thanks to our listener Slashed. And go into the Tunnel Talk Discord channel as well. The difference
Yes.
between our channel and theirs is quite funny, and it's like a culture shock, and you should go in both.
Come on in. The water's fine.
Yeah, in yours, in ours, the water's boiling half. You can also contact us. You can contact Tunnel Talk Pod at Tunnel Talk Pod on Twitter. You guys are on Blue Sky at Tunnel Talk Pod as well, aren't you?
I think we're
Yep.
everywhere
You're
as Tunnel
everywhere.
Talk Pod.
Oh yes, and on Tumblr and on Instagram and everywhere. So
You have an Instagram.
No, we don't have an Instagram.
do you have an
No.
Instagram? Have I just thought that up out my own mind?
I think we just have what would we post on Instagram?
I don't know.
Picture-
Pictures of Chuck
Do you-
Taylor.
That's a great idea. The Tunnel
Should
Talk
we
Pod
have
is
an
just a weekly picture of Chuck Taylor. I like that.
I
That's
would
something
subscribe.
to consider for the new year. Yeah.
I would like and subscribe.
Okay, that's my contribution to your podcast. You're now going to have an Instagram with just pictures of Chuck
Amazing.
Taylor. Okay,
We'll
cool.
get it set up.
But they're definitely on Tumblr, definitely on Blue Sky, definitely on Twitter. You can also find us on Twitter at Trish and Sarah, and on Blue Sky, you can't find us at Trish and Sarah Pod.
I'm gonna fix it.
Sarah can't fix
You still haven't?
I've been busy. It's Christmas. Leave me
What
alone.
are you supposed to be doing, Sarah? What have you
She
failed to do?
lost the password to it.
No, I didn't. The email I put in was wrong. It's a whole scenario. I'll fix it. Trish is just
should.
excited because it's a technical thing I fucked up.
Yeah, because it's like, it's her 1 to my 20. So. But you can also email us at trishandsarahpod@gmail.com, trishandsarahpod@gmail.com. We do love getting all your feedback. We do read through
We do.
everything.
We really do.
We really, really appreciate it. It makes everything so much easier when it comes to moving forward. And yeah, this is our last one of the holiday year. The next one we will be doing some kind of end of year summaries, the same as everybody else, but maybe slightly different because everybody else is doing it. And we will also have Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty in the return
We
of...
will be covering it with Trish live from Japan. Well, not live, recorded from Japan. So
Yeah, it's like 7 a.m. and you guys will be like 8 p.m. And that will be insane, as normal.
it's fun.
Is it going to
Yeah,
be last
Trish will-
time?
Listen, last time was amazing. This time will be amazing. I'm really looking forward to live reports about Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty, which will be occurring because I think
I know.
our
I
next
can't wait to hear.
seriously, our next podcast will be released on Tuesday, January 7th,
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah, and it will probably just be 2 hours of me going, Hiromu and Naito! Hiromu and Naito!
See, you should have put New Japan guys in your randomizer, and Trish would have been all over it.
You're right.
God, if you give me an
that's
LIJ one,
right.
like Bushi and stuff, because he's like the mother and he just takes some fried chicken, because, you know, all Naito eats is fried chicken. Like, we could
If you consent to someday have us back for another
Okay.
crazy spectacular,
Are we having
I
these
will
each
make-
year? Is this our Christmas
I will make a
tradition?
New Japan randomizer, and we can mix and match them too. So that's my
Yeah.
promise to you.
How does Naito and Hook do on a date?
That's like the laziest day ever. They wouldn't even get out of the hotel. Like, no one's
They wouldn't
going
leave
anywhere.
the house. They'd never go on the date at all.
Yeah.
Well, a date can just be sitting in your living room with someone that you
They'd be in
love.
separate living rooms because they'd never meet up.
Okay. So they don't go on a date. Okay, Killjoy. We've got to make this work, Sarah.
All right. We've come up with scenarios.
All right, but yeah, until then, and I'm very much looking forward to that. You will probably get the most excited me you've ever heard for that one. But yeah, thank you very much for listening this year. It's been insane how many new listeners we've had, how many people contacting us that we've never spoke to before, and I just I'm always astounded to hear, you know, people's stories, where you come from, what you do, and yeah, we're very grateful. So yeah, have a happy holidays. Oh my god, I've said it twice. And until next time, this has been Trish.
This has been Sarah.
This has been Allie.
This has been Anne.
And this has been Leah.
And this has been the Trish and Sarah and Tunnel Talk Wrestling Podcast Holiday Extravaganza Special. I can't believe you've got me to say that 4 times. Thank you all for listening.
Happy holidays.